ongoing human rights violations by both sides in Sudan's brutal civil war. We'll look at a new investigative report uncovering gruesome details and footage of an ethnically motivated massacre of civilians by rapid support forces in North Darfur. And we'll speak with Human Rights Watch about their new report calling for an expanded arms embargo on Sudan. Then Indigenous leader Leonard Peltier turned 80 years old this week in prison after nearly a half century behind bars for a crime he says he did not commit. Wouldn't allow me to put the defense and evidence, manufactured witnesses, tortured witnesses, the list just goes on. We'll speak with Leonard Peltier's legal defense team and with the president of the Indigenous-led NDN Collective. Then, how we do freedom, rising against fascism. A day-long education, activation on what is fascism and what we do to stop it. We'll speak with V, the playwright formerly known as E. Densler. All that and more coming up. Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Israeli strikes have killed at least 40 people across Gaza today, as UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is once again calling for an immediate ceasefire following Israel's massacre at the UN-run Al-Juyuni school, which killed at least 18 people Wednesday, including 6 UN workers, the deadliest day in UNRWA's history. The World Health Organization said Thursday it had evacuated about 100 people in need of medical treatment from Gaza to the United Arab Emirates and called for regular evacuations to resume after Israel's assault decimated Gaza's health system. This is a cancer patient awaiting evacuation. I'm suffering from Hodgkin's lymphoma, and this type of cancer spreads very quickly. In 1 or 2 months, it spreads throughout your entire body. A greater greenhouse gas footprint than coal. Here in New York, Police Commissioner Edward Caban resigned Thursday at the request of Mayor Eric Adams. Caban's resignation came just days after federal agents searched his home and seized his cell phone. Agents also raided the homes of a top mayoral advisor, 2 deputy mayors. Investigations by Chilean President Gabriel Boric says he will push for the repeal of a highly contested amnesty law that has long barred investigations into crimes against humanity committed during General Augusto Pinochet's military dictatorship. On Wednesday, September 11th, Boric attended a ceremony marking the 51st anniversary of the U.S.-backed coup, which overthrew elected President Salvador Allende and ushered in Pinochet's 17 years.
Well, I could go on and on, but I won't. I would just say you should go view Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman. But my perspective is a little different than most. All the things that we hear on Amy's show and on public radio and TV and mainstream, it's all scripted. It's all a distraction. It's a soap opera, right? The war in Ukraine, soap opera. A lot of people dying, but soap opera. Gaza Strip, soap opera. I just wanted to drop in and say, start looking for yourself. Observe with perspective. See what's going on. Don't just jump into a silo. It's not just a mosh pit, you know. I would say, when Kamala became observant, meaning when I saw her become San Francisco's head cop, and then the state's head cop. And then when she ran for Senate, I said, this is a plant. And I started to investigate her a little closer and ask people on that side of the world what's going on. And it's a rebranding of Obama. And Donald Trump was placed there, just like all the other politicians. But he has this amazing ability to lie so much he tells the truth. It's truly amazing, and that's why I'm wearing red. I am megged out, right? And I'm gonna wear these clothes until election day. I'm never taking them off. You know, I'm gonna go. I've been sleeping in them, walking around in them. It's my little statement, along with my little hat here. One of those little buttons. Basically, if buttons were around during Jesus' time, he'd be wearing those. So I was going to go to church looking like this, but they've all told me that I can't talk in church. During when we study the Bible, I can't, speak to what I think the Bible is, right, and how it is, right, because I keep bringing up things that they don't want to hear, right? So, like, why in the evangelical churches, like the Baptists, why don't they have sacrament? This is my body. This is my blood. Right? I mean, what's the story about that? Right? And they're so don't want any kind of iconic image that they turn that into an iconic image. I mean, there's pretty much everything is scripted. People they give me a hard time when I say that. So anyway, when Cammie became senator, I kind of knew that she was going to be president, and they put her on as Joe shouldn't have been president. I mean, when he was up there on the roster with all the other Democrats, Cassie Dabber, ate his lunch to the point that his eye exploded. And when she ran for vice president, I told Mike that I'm talking now. Right? It's like now I'm a firm feminist, right? Back in the day, in '72, when Roe came through the Supreme Court, all my sisters in the community said, "Oh wow, blah blah blah." And I said, "No, we have to have a law on the books, otherwise it's going to be overturned." "Oh no, what are you talking about? They'll never overturn." I mean, these things are pretty obvious. They're right in front of our face, right? But nobody wants to see them. They want to, everyone in my family sticks their head in the sand to the point that it's sad, right? So, not my job to change these things. When I was younger, between the ages of 9 and 50, I was I'm still an activist, but I was an active activist. I was organizing things, how I dealt with stopping the war is I worked in VA hospitals, right? It was already there. It was going to wash out however it was going to wash out, but I wanted to help my generation through that catastrophe. So I did, and it was a great blessing to me. They sent me off to school. I became an osteopath. I became an acupuncturist, a herbalist. Esoteric, occult healer. Studied all of the ancient mystery schools. That's kind of how I got into the mystery schools through healing. And then I saw all these other things, and other people saw me looking at these things, and so they wanted to put me into their club. And I would go to their parties. They gave me projects and things to do. To show my timber, my metal, and I did them. And so we want you to join our club. And I said, nah, boys. I was very much like Groucho Marx. So, I come from the Groucho Marx, George Carlin School of Politics. Go look it up. Anyway, so between now and Valentine's Day. The world is going to be, it's already in it, it's already got the string wrapped around it to be put into a top. There may be another debate. I don't think so, but there'll be enough said. Meaning everything that Donald says, like I said, he lies so much, he tells the truth. He's such a whack job that it makes sense. And so a good portion of the population, it resonates with them, right? So it's going to be a real close election. And I would say, if I was a betting man, I'd bet on Trump, right? Because Cammie, she just looks so artificial. She looks like a robot, I mean, she was well prepared where Donnie wasn't, right? And so he was real, lying and cheating and stealing and just being ridiculous, but that's who he is, right? So his base loves that. So it's going to be so close. I would say the difference of who wins is going to be about 300,000 votes across the country, right? Across those important swing states, right? And just like the last election was, 2016 was. So that's how we're going. We're the only country that has an electoral college. When Donnie goes, it's a rigged game. It is. It really is. So, but none of you want to look any deeper than, the sandbox, right? So, but that's okay. Right? Whatever kind of life you've had, that's okay. It's what it is, right? And, I went to school with the most elite, richest kids in the planet, right? Kennedy, Robert III. His brother, Joe, was my roommate at Canterbury and then at Lynchington. And I went to school with Eddie Merrill, Ricky Lynch, Mr. Hobart, Mr. Hearst, you name it. I went to school. The Shore by Rand's son. So I've seen all these people, and they are miserable. They got more money than God, and they're miserable. They control the world, and they're miserable because they don't have it all. They want more. Read Plato. Plato goes on. He was the guy who coined the phrase. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Oligarchs. So anyway, I just wanted to drop in. I don't know if I'm going to, if you guys were there, I have the live chat turned on. No one's talking, so it seems I can't send my novels to anybody unless they're on Google. Like I tried to send some stuff to Jamie. He's on Microsoft, and even though it says, "Oh, do you want to do it?" I hit yes. Does it do it? No. I mean, there's obviously I have not a clue about any of this stuff. I'm amazed that it all kinds of works. It kind of works, and I just let it go and do what I do, and hope for the best. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That's pretty much my motif. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi and give you that little bit of, the things to go, Democracy Now!, Jimmy Dore, Dark Journalist. Those are three good to start off with, right? And then you go down, go look at my videos. They're up there. Not just my videos, but the videos I'm watching, the threads I get. Go see what I'm looking at and go watch that. So anyway, I gotta go. I'll catch you later.